Sunday morning after the Friday crucifixion, it was dark. The disciples had scattered. And the Roman executioner was wondering about his breakfast, or about his work, or about his next day off. We don't know, but we do know he was not wondering about that fella he had nailed to a cross and pierced with a spear. Jesus was dead and buried. Yesterday's news, right? Wrong. Matthew writes, there was a violent earthquake. For an angel of the Lord came down from heaven. And going to the tomb, he rolled back the stone and he sat on it. And his appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. And the guards were so afraid of him that they shook and became like dead men. And the angel said to the women, don't be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He's not here. He has risen. Just as he said, come and see the place where his body lay. Matthew 28. Out he marched, cadaver turned king. Mask of death in one hand and the keys of heaven in the other. He has risen. Not risen from sleep, not risen from confusion, not risen from slumber, not risen from stupor, not spiritually raised, but physically raised. The women and the disciples, according to the gospel testimony, did not see a phantom or experience a sentiment. They didn't say what we typically say in a funeral. Oh, he'll be with us forever, meaning that our memory or our thoughts will be. No. They saw Jesus in the flesh. They saw him eat. They touched him. They insisted. They requested. Oh, I want to touch the wounds. I want to touch the hand. They saw him. They touched him. And Paul says after that he was seen by over 500 brethren at once. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 6. So if it had been one or two or even 10, but you get 500 people saying, well, I saw him, I saw him, I saw him, I saw him. It's no wonder that 50 days later when Peter stood and said, this Lord whom you have crucified has been raised from the dead, that 3,000 people were baptized because they all knew somebody who saw him.